What's up, fam? It's Brian Castrillo. So I just watched Ahsoka Tano episode 4 titled Fallen Jedi, and I loved it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And this is basically setting up the next big 4 episodes. And I also believe this series is leading to prove my prediction video correct that Mace Windu is still alive. But there are obviously spoilers I'm going to speak about, so if you haven't seen the episode, make sure you go back and watch it. First hit that like button, then come back and let's talk about it, because I think this is a pretty good one. Now, Fallen Jedi, I do believe that implies 2, possibly 3 Jedis, and I think that'll be pretty obvious as we get through, this video. But Ahsoka says to Sabine that she believes it is better to leave Ezra Bridger stranded than to let Grand Admiral Thrawn return as the heir to the Empire. And the next thing she says is, can I count on you? And why this is important is because Ezra is pretty much like family to Sabine. Not that she isn't to Ahsoka and anybody else, but those two are very close. And of course, with Jedi training, you're not supposed to let your emotions get the best of you. And Ahsoka, of course, is, much further in the Jedi training than Sabine is. And if you go back to Yoda's teachings, that'll be more clear. But then we see Baylan Skoll. He gives the order for them to move in on their, on their starship in the middle of the woods, and then we see the ambush take place. Hu Yang, who knew he could fight like that? He looks like that Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And after they win that battle, we see him tell Ahsoka and Sabine, "It is better for you guys to stay together. You guys work better that way." But these guys are rebels. We know they're not going to listen to that. Then we see General Hera and Carson take off. They got 4 other ships with them, and they're ready to meet the hyperspace ring, and that's where they're headed to basically stop Morgan Elsbeth on trying to get Grand Admiral Thrawn. Then we see as Ahsoka and Sabine, they're running to take off, and they're met by Shin Hati and Maruk. Now what's interesting about this fight is the difference between Ahsoka and Sabine. Now, Ahsoka, of course, is much, further in her training, but we see Sabine basically draw first on Shin Hati because she is young, she's ready to fight, where Ahsoka basically waits for Maruk to, release his lightsaber before she draws hers. Just kind of a nice little parallel between the two and where their training are. But, the battle ensues, and then we see Ahsoka eventually cuts Maruk in half, and he's just a pile of dust. Now, we've seen this in the Star Wars universe before, but, this kind of kills everybody's, belief that it could have been Ezra. I of course, had mine, but you're going to have to go back into my previous videos if you want to see that. But he's just a pile of dust. Obviously by the Witches of Dathomir, Morgan Elsbeth clearly created him, but I thought he was going to be some big reveal, but he was not. But great battle between them two. Sabine and Shin Hati had a great battle. But after he turns to dust, Ahsoka, starts to take off to find Baylan, and she finds him, and then he immediately says, "Anakin spoke very highly of you," and this is the first name drop of Anakin Skywalker. And they, ensue this lightsaber battle. You got the map all around him. This is kind of one of the coolest lightsaber battles. Very beautiful, with that map swirling around. Just a really cool scene. I think this was done very well. Baylan eventually defeats Ahsoka and actually throws her over the cliff, and we don't see, he looks over, we don't see her though. And then after that, we see Sabine comes in, and she's, threatening to, destroy the map. And he's like, go ahead, because he wasn't worried about that. And he appeals to her love for Ezra Bridger, to not do that. And he promises, basically to never hurt her, if he gives her the map and just comes with her willingly. That was the key. And of course, again, the whole Jedi thing, he appealed to her feelings, and they basically betrayed her in this moment. But trust me, I get it. I cannot wait to see Ezra Bridger. But then we see the hyperspace route basically was finished. They got the so Morgan Elsbeth knows where to go to get Grand Admiral Thrawn, where he's at, and Balin destroys the map with his lightsaber, and they take Sabine prisoner. Then we see Hera and Carson. They try and stop the hyperspace ring, but Morgan Elsbeth is like, who cares about them? Just keep going, because they go into hyperspace. All that power basically takes out 4 of the ships. It looked like Carson got hit, but I don't think he did. But 4 of them definitely are done, because there's only 2 left in Hera's ship of the X-Wing fighters. And then we see Ahsoka talking to Anakin Skywalker in the world between worlds, because I don't believe Ahsoka's dead. And if you remember the episode in Rebels about the world between worlds, that you'll know why I don't believe she's dead. But then we see Anakin talk to her, even calls her Snips, which is, of course, goes back to not Rebels, but Clone Wars. And I thought that was kind of cool that we saw that. And then we hear Vader's theme song. So I don't know what that's implying. Are we going to see Darth Vader in, somehow in this? But it was so cool seeing Hayden Christensen back as Anakin Skywalker. But this is a great episode. But we're basically set up. We're going to get Thrawn now. I don't know if this is going to be this episode coming Tuesday tonight at 9. But I am excited. And again, go check out my Mace Windu video, because I do believe this is basically where he's going to be. And it's going to be interesting to see if I'm correct. But what did you guys think of this episode? Did you enjoy it? What questions do you have? What are you looking forward to? Rosario Dawson, of course, put in another strong performance. I thought she is basically perfect as Ahsoka Tano. It's basically like she's coming right out of Clone Wars or Rebels, and I absolutely love her performance. But can't wait for episode 5. But again, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys, and may the Force be with you always.